morning, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. I just wanted to say that it has been almost 2 months since I lost my job, and it is not going great. I mean, I have been applying to jobs, and I think I've gotten one interview out of all the jobs that I've applied for. And even I had a couple of things come up a couple of weeks ago where I had a friend that I've worked with in the past that reached out to tell me about a job that was a possibility that they were creating. And I was like, fantastic, let me know. And so I got in touch with him a little bit later, sent him my resume, and nothing. He said he was going to talk to his boss on this week, Monday, and get back to me, and he did not. And then I had another one that was posted that actually the president of the company I worked for, I was laid off, but he actually wrote on that particular job notice to the person that posted it and tagged me and said I would be great for this position. And she acknowledged that she had received it and said she would get back to me. And she didn't. So goes it in the trying to find a job. It's very difficult. And I don't wish that on anyone. It's hard enough to be a caregiver and, try to make everything work, but not having that job to just have that stability is it's kind of rough. And, and on top of it, okay, let me just go into unemployment. Now, normally, if you get laid off or something like that, you lose your job, then you can file for unemployment, right? So I'm in Oklahoma taking care of my mom, but my home address is in Delaware, so I file unemployment in Delaware. And normally it's a fairly easy process. And I think within like a week, I got the letter that is called a determination letter that they send you that says, okay, this is what you made, and this is what you're going to make with unemployment, and you'll get it for like 26 weeks or whatever. So I got that. It came in the mail. Kimmer took a picture of it and sent it to me. And so I was like, great, and expecting that I would start getting my unemployment. And then I want to say about a week later, I got another letter stating that, I don't know, there was some kind of wage dispute or something. So it took forever. Let me tell you, it took forever. I mean, you call these numbers and then you just sit on hold forever. And then they try to entice you to say, push 9 if you want us to call you back and you won't lose your place in line. Well, I think that's bogus, honestly. But I've done that. I've sat there on hold for 45 minutes as well as pushing 9. I think maybe once they called me back, and of course I was in the other room, so I missed the call. So anyway, that's been like my everyday. It's like calling unemployment to just say, what's going on? Where is this in the process? I had to send them my W-2s and then my last 2 paychecks for my previous job. And then they wanted my Social Security card. And I was like, are you kidding me? I'm sure I had a Social Security card once in my life, but I don't know where it is. So I had to call, or I guess I went online, whatever. I was able to order it. And so it came in, I think 2 weeks later. And so even this week when I talked to unemployment, they were like, well, we need the front and back of your Social Security card. And I was like, oh my God. So did that. I actually did that, sent my driver's license again, sent my passport, sent my W-2, sent, all the stuff. And then nothing. It's just like it just goes up into vapor and nobody gets back to you. So I talked to ChatGPT and I said, I'm kind of at my wit's end here of what to do. And so he suggested, or suggested that I write my representative from Delaware and see if they may, because he said, you're a constituent and maybe they can help you. So I did, and they wrote back and they asked me, a little bit of information. And then they said they would reach out on my behalf just to, because I said, I'm not trying to get you to get me what I'm owed, but just to see what the holdup is and if there's anything that we can, get resolved. So anyway, that was last week and still nothing. So let's see, I lost my job on the 30th of June. That was my last day I worked. Filed for unemployment on July 1st and then filed my weekly on Sundays ever since. And it's now August 22nd. And I still have not gotten one dime of my unemployment. And thankfully I had a little bit of money in my bank account, but still, that was money I was counting on later in life, not right now. And it's very upsetting, right? Because it's like, I don't even know if I'm ever going to get another job. That's very upsetting. And I'm trying not to, lose my, what, but it's like, it's very upsetting. But at least I do have a trip coming up. I leave next Wednesday. I'm going to go home to Delaware, and I'm looking forward to that. And the funny thing about this is that, of course, that'll be a part of my respite, right, through hospice. And so Medicare will pay for 5 days. I'm going to be gone for 8. So that means that the 3 days I will pay for. And I'm charged whatever the going rate is at whatever place she's staying. And we thought she was going to go to this place that she'd stayed at the last time. I mean, I've only done respite once last year. But anyway, we thought she was going to go back there. But that didn't work out. And I found out something that I didn't know. And I don't think I talked about this before. But anyway, when you're doing respite, they typically will take your loved one to a nursing home, or it could be whatever accepts respite patients. But if they've got somebody coming to do skilled nursing, Medicare pays them more than for a respite person. Who knew? So that's also been a problem. So I've still, at this point, they don't even know where they're going to take my mom, and I leave on Wednesday. But they did call me yesterday. They were like, well, there's one place that said they can take her, but their rate that I would have to pay per day is like $450. That's like, that's almost $1,400 extra. I'm like, are you crazy? I mean, I was expecting, I think the last time I paid like maybe $242, something like that, maybe even less than that per day. So $600. But I was not prepared to pay $1,400, so that was a little bit upsetting. So we're still waiting. I mean, I leave on Wednesday, and hopefully they can get it all figured out, and then they'll come and get my mom on Wednesday, and then I'll head to Delaware and get back the following Wednesday. So, and basically once she goes into the nursing home, then my hospice people will go there every day to check on her, and then hopefully some of my family can go over there as well. So that's been our fun week this week. And anyway, I just wanted to give you kind of a little heads up on that, and just knowing that looking for a job and taking care of somebody, it's hard work. So be kind to yourself. And if you have friends, reach out, just get on the phone and just talk, just to keep yourself sane, because I promise you, it's a crazy world out there we're living in. And having all these little bumps in the road can sometimes get me down. So I'm sure it can also get you down. But just hang in there. I'm trying to hang in there. I'm going to just enjoy next week and go have fun and not even think about work. And then when I get back, maybe a miracle will happen and I will have a job. Until then, you guys, my name's Trilinda. This channel is called Caregiverish. And if it's something that you like, or maybe it's, something that you can just watch for a little while, I appreciate it. If you like, subscribe if you want, if you think you like more videos like this. I'm just getting started, so I'm just kind of trying to talk a little bit about my mom and taking care of her and life. And today's life was job hunting, which is not my favorite thing. So anyway, you guys have a fantastic weekend, and I'll talk to you next time.